Good morning, Kitchissippi. It is Saturday, May 11th. This is a video version of the 390th Kitchissippi Ward Weekly Newsletter. You can sign up for the newsletter by email at kitchissippiward.ca. I don't have a lot of new updates this week, a few items to talk about in terms of the legislative agenda coming up, but let's just jump right in and keep it hopefully fairly brief. I am hosting pop-up office hours. Those are going to be on May 18th. That's a week today. I'll be at the opening of the Byron Farmers Market with my own stall. Come on by anytime from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. to chat with me one-on-one about whatever is on your mind. Let's hope for some good weather, and I'm sure that'll be a fun pop-up to do. The Committee of Adjustment, I've run through these items a few times, but we do now have the city staff comments on them. At 282 Loretta, the owner is seeking to subdivide the property into 3 parcels for the construction of 3 singles. They're looking for variances associated with reduced lot width and area, increased height. City planning staff now have their comments online, and they have expressed no concerns. At 155 and 157, the owner is seeking to subdivide the property in order to establish separate ownerships for the semi-detached that is currently under construction there. City staff have again expressed no concerns. At 113 Northwestern, the owner of the house that is currently under construction is seeking some variances associated with a double-wide driveway, front-facing garage, as well as no opaque screening on the balconies. We have the staff comments. They have no concerns with the lack of screening on the balcony, but they do have concerns about the double-width garage. City staff in their comments have noted that that is likely to make the front entrance significantly less prominent, and will also establish potentially a precedent on the street for more auto-centric development. So city staff have expressed their concerns on that. We'll see whether that one gets adjourned for some further discussion ahead of the Wednesday 15th Committee of Adjustment meeting. Again, a last reminder, the Parkdale ramps, there are 2 closures to take note of. Starting on May the 13th, the eastbound on-ramp is going to be closed from Parkdale, the on-ramp. The next exit will be available at Isabella. That closure is until August the 25th. There is a shorter closure for the off-ramp, so the eastbound off-ramp is going to be closed from May 13th until August the 25th. Again, another reminder of the Kitchissippi Ward Community Yard Sale. Please email me at jeff.leeper@ottawa.ca to be added to the Google map that I'm hosting online. Lots of locations starting to pop up on there. I know that people take a look at that before they head into the ward to cruise the streets for those garage sales. Send me an email. I'm happy to add you to the map. Also, another reminder that race weekend on Sunday, the May 26th, the half marathon and the marathon will be coming through. There are road closures associated with that. Carling Avenue between Melrose and Sherwood, Old Irving Private between Carling and Sherwood, Sherwood, Fairmont, Gladstone between Fairmont and Rosemount, Rosemount between Gladstone and Wellington, Wellington between Rosemount and Garland, Somerset West between Garland and Bayswater, down to Bayview Station. So all those road closures, there's more information about that in the newsletter that I will send out this weekend. Some community updates this week. The Wellington Village Community Association is hosting its annual general meeting on May the 28th. That'll be at 7:30 p.m. at Fisher Public School. More information about exactly where and when in the newsletter. I'm happy to drop by, offer a few comments, and of course Dave Alston, who is their current president, will be taking a look at some items as well. I think we're going to talk a lot about some of the new zoning bylaw and things like that. Parkdale Food Centre has run out of low sugar cereal. Starting next week, Monday through Thursday, from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m., they could use donations of low sugar cereal or donate cash. That is always helpful. So there's information about how you can make a donation or exactly where to drop off donations of that cereal in the newsletter. And as I mentioned with respect to my pop-up office hours, the Westboro Farmers Market is going to be open on May 18th. It opens up on Saturday mornings. Another reminder that Pedal Pole, which is a citywide effort to count the number of cyclists at various locations. They're building up a good database of year-over-year data to compare year to year. They're looking for volunteers to do their citywide cycling counts. It's really fun, really easy. I've done it, I think, 3 years in a row. There's information about how you can volunteer in the newsletter. At City Hall, a bit of a busy couple of weeks coming up. At the Built Heritage Committee, we're going to be meeting with a relatively short agenda that includes what I imagine will be approval of a monument in, I believe it's Lower Town, to the victims of the Irish famine in Bytown. We are also going to be taking a look at the appeal that has been done by the owner of the building in which the Orange Gallery is, opposing the designation of that building as a heritage building. There is a full agenda and all the associated documents online. City Council, we're going to meet on Wednesday, May 15th. Fairly straightforward agenda of items that have previously been approved by the or recommended for approval by the various different committees before it. But I imagine that 2 items will probably create some discussion. The first item is going to be with respect to the new comprehensive zoning bylaw. At Planning and Housing Committee, we voted to receive that and to begin the process of about 1.5 years of public consultation. I imagine that councillors will want to weigh in, ask questions about that, but that ultimately we will end up receiving and launching that public consultation. And then the second item is the more politically charged, which is the increase in development charges. Planning and Housing Committee last week voted to slightly increase the development charges that go towards building the capital projects that support growth. We've seen that Minister Fraser has weighed in with some thoughts. This is a very highly politically charged environment. I imagine that will be a long discussion at City Council next week. The Emergency Preparedness and Protective Services Committee is meeting. They don't have any big decisions to take, but one of the documents that's on there that you may want to take a close look at is the Bylaw and Regulatory Services Annual Report for 2023. Some interesting stats in there. Calls for service for bylaw in 2023 increased over 2022 by 7.5%. Parking enforcement is 41% of the complaints they received. Property standards 17%. Animal care and control 14%, and noise 11%. Read the full report, lots of information in there about the year in Bylaw and Regulatory Services 2023. Then on May the 21st, the Environment and Climate Change Committee will be meeting. They're going to receive an update on the strategy to start enhancing waste collection at our multi-residential buildings. There is also going to be a report on how city staff are moving toward the electrification of the small tools that Public Works uses. You'll recall that Councillor King asked them to start exploring how can we set a ban on things like leaf blowers, how can we ensure that city staff are using electric tools as opposed to gas as often as possible. A really comprehensive report on the agenda there. No big decisions to make, but I think many of you will want to take a look at that report on the move towards electrification of small equipment by Public Works. Of course, I have a link to all those documents in the newsletter. And then the Planning and Housing Committee meeting, we'll be meeting again on May the 22nd. It's a relatively brief agenda. At 224 Preston, the owner is seeking a rezoning that would facilitate the building of a 6-story mixed-use building there. At 1927 Maple Grove, the owner is seeking a rezoning to allow some townhouses. At 451 Smythe, that's on the Ottawa Hospital campus, there is an item coming. There's no documentation for it online, but if I recall, that is to facilitate the construction of the Advanced Medical Research Facility on that campus. I've got all the documentation and the full agenda in the newsletter. And in addition to those, there will be a meeting of the Police Services Board, Policy and Governance Committee on May the 17th. Those are all the items I had in the newsletter this week. Like I say, a fairly brief one. I do want to give a congratulations to Kelly Fragnito. She won the Molly Ellens Award from MASC. MASC is an organization that ensures that we have arts in the schools, arts in the community. They operate out of Fisher School and do great work. They honored a number of kids in grades 6 to 8 with various scholarships and such last week. I was very privileged to be allowed to say a few words there, and I always want to congratulate Kelly on Kaylee on winning that Molly Ellens Award. It is a beautiful Saturday morning. The Parkdale Market is about to launch at 1 o'clock today. It's 100th season. They do have a special market tomorrow for Mother's Day, and the big birthday bash is going to be on July the 10th. I'm participating in all of it, and I'm looking forward to it. It hopefully will be a great summer of vending here at the Parkdale Public Market. Kitchissippi, I hope you have a great week. For those of you who are celebrating your moms, happy Mother's Day, and thanks for watching.